Hello everyone. Welcome back to the session of English. In this session we are going to continue with our chapter determiner. Now this is part 9. In our earlier session, that is part 8, we were discussing the uses of any. Though I told you that we will discuss in that session only the uses of some as well, but let it be. In this session we are going to discuss uses of any and uses of some. Actually, in that session, in earlier session, we, because of time, we were not able to discuss, or we were unable to discuss the other uses of any and uses of some. So in this session we are going to continue with it. So this is determiner part 9. So in this session we are going to discuss different uses of any and some. In fact, some in detail. We are going to define some. We are going to discuss the rules and the usage of some. So we are going to discuss each and everything about some in this session. Also, we are going to discuss some more uses of the word or determiner any. So in the earlier session I told you about the word any. Any is not specific, it can be used for any person. Also, I discussed a little part of some with you all. I told you about what is some, what are its uses. I also told you that it is used in positive sense. We also have discussed that any is used in negative sense, whereas some is used in positive sense. Also, if they both are used in terms of interrogative statements, we have discussed the difference there as well. So, in this session, let us begin with some different uses of any. Well, the word any can be used in expressions like any different, any good, and any use. So we can also use such expressions like any different. Any different is used just to show the difference, or was there any difference in the earlier or in this one. If two things are there and we have to show that there is any difference between the two, it means there is no difference. So we are just trying to find out if there is any difference. So another expression is any good. Now, if two things are there and we are comparing between those two things, and we can say that is there any good or is there anything which is good about this? So maybe possible there is nothing good. So we are just want to confirm. We just want to confirm that whether there is some good or not. Any use is again in the same tone to add emphasis or to question the effectiveness, usefulness, or change in status of something. So this is how we use these expressions like any different, any good, and any use. Let us elaborate. So first one is any different. For example, is this approach any different from what we have tried before? Now, if we have this type of expression, it means we have. So this is a style of writing in which we can say that we write in a small or in slang forms. Well, is this approach any different? It means we are talking about two approaches. So we are comparing this approach from the previous one or with the previous one. So we are just asking any different from. It means is there a difference? So we are just want to confirm. We just want to confirm it. We just want to ask. So in the sentence, any different is used to question whether there is a noticeable or significant difference compared to a previous situation. So this is how we can use the phrase any different. Now let us move forward. We have another phrase that is any good. For example, is this new software any good for editing videos? It means I'm asking or confirming from someone that the new software is this good, or is this better to use as compared to other one. For example, here any good is questioning the quality or usefulness of the software for a specific purpose. So this is how we can use the phrase any good. Now let us move further. Any use. For example, is this old manual any use to you for your project? So it is again a type of question. The phrase queries the utility or helpfulness of the manual for the project in question. So this is how we can use the phrase any use. So these are some manners in which we can these are some manner in which we can use the phrases like any good, any different, and any use. Now let us move forward. Not any. We have another term that is not any. So we can use this term as well. That is not any. Well, now we will read the use of not any. Any refers to if we are asking about some quantity which is not specific or definite. Not is a negation adverb. Now, is typically used in a structure where the negation not is already part of the sentence. It means in the given sentence, we have the word not as well as any. And any is used to specify that there is none. Not any refers to none of something in a particular category. Now let us have some sentences. There are not any apples left in the basket. Now, just to simplify the sentence, we can also say there are no apples left in the basket. Or or there are no apples, not any. There are none apples left. So, not any means none. I do not have any money. So, we can also use do not. Now, we can also use not in this manner. Even we can also use not any. So, I do not have any money. This is also a kind of sentence which is absolutely correct. So, we can use not and any both together in these styles as well. Now, let us move to the next one. Now, we'll discuss the use of some. So, here we are going to discuss some. As I told you before as well, that some is used in positive sense. When we talk about some specific quantity, we use the word some. It can be used with countable as well as uncountable nouns. But it only tells us about the indefinite quantity of something. Though the things are countable, yet if they are indefinite, they can be used with the word some. Now, what is definite and indefinite? Let me tell you. One thing is definite quantity and another is indefinite. As we read in case of much and many, this is same like that. How? Let me explain. Suppose if I say, suppose I say that there are 5 apples. So we know the definiteness of this. We are talking only about 5 apples. Okay, if I say apples, yes, these are countable. And if I say 5 apples, so that is definite. But if I say some apples, now can you tell me the exact number of these apples? No. Apples are countable. Now, whatever apples you have in front of you, you can count them. But if I'm saying some apples, many apples, several apples, a few apples, these are the words which do not tell us the specific quantity or specific number of that particular quantity or amount. So, countable can be further divided into two parts. One is definite and another one is indefinite. So, some is used to show countable if they are of indefinite quantity. Some can also be used with uncountable nouns. Now, if I ask you that what is the difference between some and many? First of all, many refers to when the amount is large as compared to that of some. Some refers to uh, a little or a few. So, a few and a little can be the synonyms of some. A few in context of countable and a little in context of uncountable. So, if some is used as uncountable, it is used just like a little phrase. And if some is used with countable nouns, it is just used as a few expression. Now, let us move further. The determiner some is a word that is used to indicate an unspecified quantity or number of something. It is typically used to suggest that there is a certain amount or degree of that noun it modifies. But the exact amount is not specified. Some is often used in positive statements and questions to imply a degree of existence, quantity, or possibility. So, determiner some is a word that is used to indicate an unspecified quantity. Used in positive statements and questions, imply a degree of existence, quantity, or possibility. Now, if it is used to show indefinite quantity, some is used to refer to an indefinite but unspecified quantity or number of something. How? I need some milk for my coffee. Now, milk is uncountable noun. We know well that. So, some can be used with uncountable noun. Now, if I'm saying some milk, it means the quantity is not specific. If I say 1 liter of milk, 2 liters of milk, that is fine. But if I say some milk, there is no particular quantity. There is no specific quantity or defined quantity. Can you give me some information about the project? Now, how much information exactly? No one knows. Some refers to a little of that. She bought some flowers. Now, there is no limit of flowers. If I'm saying some flowers, maybe obviously there are more than two. But how many flowers are there? We don't know. Of course, for one person, we cannot say some. Some should be more than one or two at least. For one, we cannot say some. For one, we cannot say some. Uncountable and plural nouns. Some can be used with both uncountable nouns and plural countable nouns. Now, if the nouns are plural, they must be countable. As I told you before as well, that some can be used with both, whether they are countable nouns or whether they are uncountable nouns. There is some milk in the fridge. So, milk is uncountable noun. There are some apples on the tree. Now, plural countable nouns. Apples are plural countable nouns. Offering or requesting. So, we can also use some if we are offering something or requesting about something. Some can be used when making an offer or request. It implies generosity or politeness. How? Let us have some examples. Would you like some cake? So, some cake is basically showing us the quantity of this cake. Or you can say part of cake. Now, some cake here, this cake is an uncountable noun. Uncountable noun. Now, you must say, or you must be thinking that we can count cakes. If there is one cake, I can say cake, cakes. But let me explain this in detail. Suppose there is a cake. This is a cake. This is only one cake. This is only one cake. Now, if I say some cake, or if I say some cakes, there is a difference between these two phrases. How? If I say some cake, this refers to some part of cake. Some part of cake. Here, cake is only one and or it is uncountable. So if we talk about some part of cake, may be possible we are talking about a slice of cake. We are talking about a slice of cake. So here we are just talking about a slice of cake. But if I say some cakes, it means there can be more than one cake. Suppose one cake is this, another cake is this. There are 3 or 4 cakes. So we can say cakes. That there are few cakes. There are a few cakes, sorry. So these are some cakes. Some cakes. And if I say some cake, it means a part of some part of this cake. So we can use some cake. So this is the difference between if a particular noun is used as a countable noun or uncountable noun while using the word or determiner some with it. So this you should keep in mind. Now let us move further. Can I have some of your time to discuss this matter? Now, time, we know well that this is uncountable. I have some water, please. Sorry, may I have some water, please? So, we are asking about some water, please. So, some water, water is uncountable, of course, we know. Vague amount or degree. Now, vague means unclear. When something is not clear, when something is unclear, we call it vague. So, the amount is vague, it means amount is not clear. Some is used to indicate an unspecified or approximate quantity or degree. For example, I have some experience in graphic design. So, some experience refers to uh, maybe possible some time of experience, maybe some months, maybe some year, maybe only a few days, but that is not specific. We don't know exactly of how many years or days or months experience that we have, that one have. There were some people at the party. Now, how many some and what was exactly the number of people? We don't know. So we can say there were some people at the party. Now, she showed some interest in the topic. So, some interest, it means a little interest. So, some here can refer to a little. So, some means a little or a few. If it is used with uncountable noun, it behaves like a little. And if it is behaving like, if it is defining a countable noun, it behaves like the expression a few. Now let us move further. Possibility or probability. This can also be uh, indicated by the word or determiner some. Some can express a possibility or probability. How? There is some chance of rain tomorrow. So there is some chance, it means there is some possibility of raining tomorrow. It means might be it will rain. He has some talent as a musician. So some talent, it means a little talent he possesses. There may be some truth to what he says. It means the statement which he is saying can be true up to a particular limit or up to a particular extent. There is some truth in his words. Now let us move further. It is important to note that some is used in positive or neutral contexts. In negative or restrictive contexts, the word any is generally used. So it happens always. Then in positive sense, we use some, and in negative sense, we use any. So this we should keep in mind. The points for any and some, any and some, any is used in negative sense and some is used in positive sense. Some can be used with countable noun as well as uncountable noun. Now, if it is countable, the noun should be plural only. The noun should be plural only. But if it is uncountable, obviously the noun will be singular. The noun will be singular noun, and it is plural noun. Now, of course, if it is plural noun, it will be followed by plural form of verb only. But if it is any, it is used in negative sense. Also, if it is, it can be used in countable as well as uncountable form. So, if it is used in countable, it can be used in both the manners, singular and plural noun. We can have both after it, singular and plural noun. But if there is some, we can only use plural noun. And if it is used in uncountable case, so of course the noun will be singular after it. Singular noun. So this is how we use any and some. Well, that's all for today. I hope you understood the uses of any, some, the meaning of any and some. Thanks to you.